This is it. As mentioned previously, our number 87 is also the product of Hanna-Barbera's early tenure in television animation itself. A character that had as much charm as the Huckleberry Hound had, always ready to swing into action with comedic results. He is one of the characters who defined the studio. Our number 87 is none other than Quick Draw McGraw, a crusader for justice in the old Wild West, and made sure we all knew of his unmistakably clumsy prowess. Quick Draw McGraw is a byproduct of the success that Hanna-Barbera gained with the Huckleberry Hound show, so much so that he would make his debut with his own series on September 29th, 1959, a full year after Huckleberry Hound show premiered. Quick Draw instantly differentiated himself from the likes of Huckleberry Hound. Whereas Huckleberry was the everyman in his outings, Quick Draw played only one role: the sheriff. Alongside his sidekick, Babalooey, a Mexican burro, together they dispensed justice in the old Wild West. Quick Draw was quite the character. Despite his best intentions to uphold the law, he certainly wasn't the brightest. What kept him grounded was Babalooey being the voice of common sense in every situation, despite Quick Draw not wanting to heed his advice.
And I don't think Big Chief Little Runt gonna like it. I don't think.
Remember, Sonny, I'll do the thinner around here, savvy? And don't you forget to remember it.
Unsurprisingly, things never ended well for Quick Draw, and that's what made the character unique. At least he had his pet, Snuffles, a dog that was only encouraged to do anything when Quick Draw fed him his favorite doggy biscuits, to his utter delight.
Biscuit, Snuffles. Catch.
Doesn't that look familiar?
That Snuffles sure likes his dog biscuits.
Anyway, he was certainly steadfast in his stubbornness and comically inept, but he always had good intentions nevertheless. On top of that, he occasionally assumed another role, the Masked Avenger known as El Kabong. Armed with only a guitar, he came swinging into action and knocked the foes on their head with it. The series also introduced audiences to other characters that became vital in carrying the studio into greatness in segments. First was Snooper and Blabber, a cat and mouse detective duo who went around solving crimes, and Augie Doggy and Doggy Daddy, a son and father duo that had the latter trying to raise the former the best way he could. The Quick Draw McGraw show was another hit for Hanna-Barbera in syndication, so much so that it garnered an Emmy nomination in 1960. Quick Draw had proven that he was a cartoon star in his own right. After the series had ended its run in syndication, it managed to languish in reruns alongside the Huckleberry Hound show. As for Quick Draw himself, he did as Huckleberry Hound had done. He transitioned into the realm of Saturday morning cartoons as he was a part of the legendary output Hanna-Barbera had done in the 1970s, including being a part of Yogi's Crew and Yogi's Gang, Laugh Olympics, Yogi's Space Race, and most notably in 1985 as a part of the fantastic world of Hanna-Barbera syndicated cartoon block with Yogi's Treasure Hunt. In this cartoon, Yogi and the gang went on treasure hunts around the world. This series was notable for one thing. It would be the last time Dawes Butler, who voiced Yogi, Huckleberry Hound, and Quick Draw McGraw, would ever voice the characters, as he passed away in 1988. In all, Quick Draw McGraw was a character that made us watch cartoons in the first place. Alongside Yogi Bear and Huckleberry Hound, he helped to shape Hanna-Barbera into what it eventually became. The studio went on to bigger things by the time the 90s had rolled around, and with Turner Broadcasting acquiring the studio in their attempt at creating a channel that showed cartoons 24/7, they started to stray away from the characters that made them famous in the first place, and ushered in the next generation of cartoon stars such as Johnny Bravo, the Powerpuff Girls, and Dexter. But when you think of Hanna-Barbera, it is the classic characters who are mentioned the most, and rightfully so. Quick Draw McGraw represents that early age of animation in Hanna-Barbera, when it was all about giving children fun cartoons to watch in syndication and on Saturday mornings. It was all about good, clean fun and humor. Quick Draw McGraw was a character that exemplified what Hanna-Barbera wanted to achieve as a studio. Some will try to associate him with Warner Brothers Animation's rendition of the character in Jellystone. Real cartoon lovers know where he started from. Today, Quick Draw McGraw, just like his other counterparts, can be seen on MeTV Toons, where this generation can see who he really was. That dim-witted, brave, but quite charming and lovable Mustang and his trusty sidekick riding along the dusty plains of the old Wild West, dispensing justice with hilarious results. Characters like him is why many revere Hanna-Barbera to this day, and in my book, it's well deserved. But one question, how can a horse ride another horse as a steed? Gotta love cartoon logic.
Loyal follower, the whippersnapper.
You know something, Quickstraw? I think...
Now what have I told you about thinning?
Okay. Then you better think how we're gonna get out of here.
Anybody out there got any ideas?